You caught me. You caught me off guard. Oh my God, how's everybody doing? I am so sorry that I did not get back to you. Our Saturn struck. Saturn struck again. I tell you, I'm working night and day. You know, the surgery is this Friday. Right. And taking care of, putting things together. After I'm done, either Friday or Saturday, I will be flying back to Houston to my apartment there and stay there and recover and maybe go on vacation, somewhere in the United States. I need a vacation and I need plenty of rest and sleep. But one thing that does give me a lot of energy is doing the readings and the birth charts, and a lot of the things that came out of the solar eclipse with Sag hit home with me, and it hit home with a few of my friends, and even a few of the clients. Today was the day, the conjunction in the South Node, Mars, the eclipse, and I got the closure of the last 9 years in the beginning of the new cycle. Have you guys been able to detect that was someone in your life that you're getting rid of, or a situation, final closure, which brought you pain since the beginning 9 years ago? Now its completion is done, and now opens a new cycle. Know what it is? Connect. Remember, look at the video. Those of you, I'm trying to get the link back. Oh dear God, because I put it on Patreon. So I'm trying to see if I can get the link. And once it goes into Patreon, it's hard to take it back out. And when I do the videos, I don't do copies. I give them right to Patreon unless I withdraw the videos. So if you are the person who is in that video that I moved to Patreon, let me know. Text me or call me, and I will do a reading personally to you in that if you have that category. I'll do that. Okay? I may have to do another video, the same video for that group that doesn't have it. So that is coming about. The Pluto return to the United States will be falling in the eighth house, and that begins on the 23rd of February. The Pluto conjunction with Venus retrograde, we talked about that, is going to be a doozy. And watch out how it's going to affect your personal relationships. 8 years ago, you have to go back 8 years, around December, February. That's the time when she goes retrograde. Go back to those 8 years, to those months, and see what was happening in that time in your life concerning your relationship. Something like that with a magnitude of 4 times is what's going to occur as a boomerang when Pluto conjuncts on Venus retrograde, who also goes retrograde in Capricorn. There's a lot going on, and a lot will be going on and jumping off right after the new year. Okay. Who is here? I am surprised that there are people up. I actually normally was trying to see if I can do it where there is no um, people, because that way I can be a little creative. I think too much lighting, too much lighting. Let's dull it a little bit. Not that much. No, is that good? That's a blue, and that's a pink. I think it's a lot more lighter. And I have a little, my first drink, and it's 2:30 in the morning. And again, it's apple cider, but I try to make it look like a martini. Apple cider, and I got grapes. I got the I got a bread and cheese, and I got what is it? Uvas, grapes, and I got my yuca and my bistec leftovers. I love leftovers. Again, trying to eat as much as possible so I can gain some more weight. Uh, let's see who's here. And I got my Mr. Magoo. All right. Crocodile Turtle, how are you? Jackie, Stacy, Naomi, Fatma, Cini G, hello. Angela Krinis, Faith in the Journey. Uncle Fernando is Harmony in Jacksonville, Florida. I love you. Hey, Harmony, yes. Oh my God, Miss Farmer sent you an email. I got so backed up. If you really like a reading now, after I'm done with the stream, I said to myself, no, let me not call her now because, she works early in the morning. She gets up in the afternoon and then, like after 6. So, yes, you're the first on my list. First on my list, Harmony. Love you too. Yes, yes, I gotta do it. Yes, Harmony. We have, because it always takes me back up. Ruby Trans, Ruby, yes, Ruby, Ruby, I got a surprise for you, and I have a few gifts for you too. I didn't forget about you, but I've been going through some witchcraft attacks, and you all know it's been really bad. So I've been fighting doing the shamanistic thing, and in the meantime, I cannot really see some of you until I get this out of the way. It's for your protection. But yes, Ruby Trans, we were just talking about you, me and Miss Farmer. We talk about you guys, And listen, I'm 54 years old. That I have no life. I used to have a life when I was traveling. With this pandemic, can't go nowhere. And even if there was no pandemic, you still need that vaccine card. So my travel days are over. Oh, I know it's fierce. Saturn, he came in swinging, and he ain't even here yet. He ain't even here yet. All right. Let's go back. It's terrible how he does that. Thank you. I don't feel fresh and clean. Even I have been cleaning, and I do a lot of showers and did my hair again, and take a lot of care of my skin. You know. So yeah, but as much as I don't, because I lost so much weight, I look different. I feel different. So it's a little getting used to, at least for now. Faith can do tonight. Okay. I'm off tomorrow. Let's do tomorrow. It'll be 2:30 in the morning because I may have to do Harmony. She's open, and that'll be too late. Then if I do you, I can do tonight. Okay, Pluto side, but no changes. Now Pluto inside, no changes. A lot of people have been reporting the changes as predicted in the videos. Give it time, and if not, call me, and I will do your reading myself and see where it hits. But I felt it, and Miss Farmer too. Yeah, it was working. Okay, Coco, Stefan, hi. Stefan Glacier, I hope Stefan Glacier, I gotta talk to him. I need to talk to Mr. Glacier from Germany. Moon Goddess, I was led to you and I'm enjoying your content. Thank you, Miss Moon Goddess. I've heard of you, Miss Moon Goddess. Hey, Uncle, how are you? Who's that? Nicole Bain. Nicole. Yes, Nicole, I got to talk to you. There's a couple of Nicole. Nicole Bain, Nicole Robin, a few other, and I think that I sent the wrong video to the wrong Nicole from California. The Nicole from California. Yeah, she was a little bit ticked off. Yeah, I'll make it up to her. I love my Nicole in LA. All of you. So we'll fix that. We will fix that. Alrighty. Yeah, it happens. The same. Okay, you're Nicole Bain. There are two Nicole. There's a Nicole Robin in Florida and also Nicole Bain. And there's another Nicole. I think this one is in LA. I think that's the one that got a remedy. Oh, great, great. You don't love me though. Cranky Beast 222. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah, just going through some, crisis in my life at the moment. And although I think I'm managing it pretty well, there's always going to be one or two casualties along the way. But no, no, Cranky Beast, please, I like, you have a good material too. Now, you've been here for a minute now. Not as long as the others, but I remember you. Water Moon Mix. Uncle Fernando, what is the significance in seeing the number 23 everywhere? Also, my birthday is June 23. June 23, welcome. Would the retrograde bring death? It has happened, but there has to be more than one indicator to confirm it. The retrograde may be one of maybe 10 or 15 that are needed, you know, for that possibility to even be considered. Usually, to consider death, the planets to look for will be Pluto, Mars, Saturn. All right, let's see who else. Hey, Uncle, all is well. Sherelle Manley, yes. All is well. All is being managed. You know, I'm in my lunation before the return. And it's been tough and challenging and difficult. But, I feel stronger than ever and just handling it. With the good thing about crisis is that God doesn't give you more than you can bear. Always remember that, because if He gave you too much, then you won't learn the lesson. The lesson destroys you. There's no point. So know that that's the consolation is that you can always handle what's thrown at you, because whatever it is that is thrown at you, it will be equal to your strength, not over your strength. Remember that, and that's a good thing to go by. Okay, we're gonna begin. Okay. I had to make a video about, I've made a few videos already about the archons. I've given you bits and pieces here and there. I didn't want to give you too much because I want you to understand it. The one thing that I said in part one is how can we know what these beings that are coming, right? Because we already have they've been coming in drones. One, two, three. The third wave is where they're going to come with spaceships. That is going to happen. So don't catch a heart attack when you see it happening. It's going to populate the entire sky. And the day, it will be like night because the space will be seen in the middle of the sun shining. You will see the sun shining in the darkness of space and the stars. Our atmosphere will be blown away with these beings coming in with these ships. It sounds terrifying, yes it does. I watched the movie by Netflix. Someone recommended me to watch it, and I got sick to my stomach. The accuracy of what I'm saying is detailed to the T in that movie, and I had no idea that movie came out. No idea. No idea. No idea. So I was like, damn. Because I was beginning to doubt myself. And I'm like, and then they're telling me, don't you doubt now. You never doubted before. Don't begin now. But it's just so outrageous. There's a part of me that still doesn't believe it. I can't believe it. I won't believe it. But I have to snap out of it. And the thing is, people are calling me and texting me and sending me emails every day that they're seeing the same visions, and it's not stopping. Neighbors are seeing it, police officers. One senator admitted to have seen these visions. And now there is a movie on Netflix that says, Don't Look Up, when everybody's looking up. And that just came out today. So, they're preparing us. They're preparing us. What do you guys think about that before I go into the archons? Let me take one quick look and see if any of you have something to say about that. Uh-huh. Well, of course, it ended as our Cranky B said, will we ever get to see B with that family members again? Of course. Of course. Of course, faith in general. How does Venus in Capricorn retrograde affect someone who has their Venus in Capricorn? It might make them more insecure. Their weaknesses might be more visible. They may be more vulnerable. Venus in Capricorn doesn't do well. She's cold. And retrograde makes her more complex and more insecure, unfortunately. Cranky Breed, they are gonna blow up the firmament. No, but these are ships that have fuel that's not fossil fuel, it's not rocket fuel. We don't know what kind of chemistry is in those rocket fuels. They're coming from another part of space, a galaxy, and that kind of chemistry might harm our atmosphere. You never know. It might harm our trees, our animals. It might have deposits that might be harmful to breathe. These are the little things that we have to consider. Moon Goddess says the Moon Goddess 777 says, you'll see the Antler movie just came out. Well, the antler, yeah, that's an insectoid. An insectoid is another form of archon. And they look like insects. They look like praying mantis. Jason Zero, how do you handle Sun and Moon opposition in the second and eighth house? I was born with a Sun Moon opposition also. Be aware that emotionally you could be overwhelming, and you're going to attract people to you that are weak and not very strong, and they're going to learn from you the different dynamics of your personality when you are in complete awareness of your logic and when you are in complete lack of awareness of your emotional reactions. The moon opposing the sun may cause you to be emotionally reactive, and you can react to people. Will everyone see them? Cranky Beast says, will everyone see them or only those that are enlightened? No, everyone will see them. Okay? Uh, so what do we do if we can't breathe? Gas mask, go in the basement? Or it's not going to be, you're going to breathe. It's not going to be to the degree that it'll kill you. This is we know that that's not going to happen. Otherwise, what would be the point to come here if the fumes itself is going to kill us? So I don't think that's the case. The planet will not be harmed. I'll tell you that. The planet will not be harmed. What does it mean when sensitive friend of mine says she saw a mantis creature? She's probably telling you the truth. A mantis? Yeah, yeah, don't mean don't blood today. What about a Gemini sun and Capricorn moon? Again, the Capricorn moon is probably the worst. Again, insecurities and delays and in development. You might grow into maturity and liking yourself much older when you get older. Sherelle Manley says, how do you distinguish between the archon and your spirit and spirit guides communicating with you? Well, the spirit guides that are communicating with you are archons, number one. The archons come in different categories and in different classifications. And we're going to talk a little bit about it today. You know because your spirit talks to you. People who are spiritually open can hear their own voice and they can distinguish it from the voices of other beings and archons. Like I mentioned in many other videos, your voices or your thoughts are not always your thoughts. They're influencing you. And like the little devil and the little angel on your shoulders in cartoons, they're telling you the truth. That you have archons that are good and archons that are bad. You have archons that are attracted to weak people because they can be easily manipulated. And you have archons that are attracted to strong people because they can give thoughts to people that are strong to create major changes. Is there an occult without the Baphomet? There are tons of occults without it, and there are tons of occults with it. I saw a sloth outback. Okay. How do we differentiate an angelic hierarchy and the archons? Are they related? Yes, the angelic hierarchy are archons. These are names that the church use. Angels and demons, cherubims, seraphims. But these are archons, and there are different levels of archons. The same thing like with demons. You have different levels of demons. Grade A, grade B, grade C, high level demons, low level demons. But it's really archons, high level archons, low level archons. You have archons that are good and archons that are bad. My honest crown says, my dream self wasn't sure who. My dream self wasn't sure who was taking us. Had a lot of post-apocalyptic dreams last year, like walking, like walking through section of destroyed cities with PPL, with people having shootouts and state military. Yes, and state military force. Yes, I have those same dreams, and I have had other people have the same dream with tanks running through the streets, taking people to different concentration camps. Yes, yes, These are some of the visions. Jason Zio, dragons, what about them? Coca turtle, they can't affect me. Capricorn ruling. Well, remember, these beings are from what's being circulated. They're not here for us. They're here to overthrow the governments that have been running amok, unchecked. That's whom they're coming for, not us. All archons all day, JK, Mr. Magoo. That's right. Why do some change their names? That name change. I don't know. That's the first I hear that. Can you explain what you mean when you say Saturn a lot of time as a reference to things? Saturn is a demiurge, the name of Jehovah. Uh-huh. And crocodile. I had a dream of an alien running at me with a gun. They're coming for the reptilians and Pleiadians. The reptilians are already here, and those that are coming are also reptilians of a different category and class. Uh, Weed is good. Your garbage poisoning the food, all of it, with man. I don't know. Hopefully not. In a matter of speaking, with a lot of preservatives and pesticides, that's no good. So in a matter of speaking, you could be right. Is it intentional? Uh, or who knows? What is the true God beyond Jehovah? That would be Gaia, a woman or female, the one who imagines, and then the lesser gods or the male gods execute the form. I haven't heard anything about dragons. I'm gonna go. We will get to go on spaceship. I'm gonna go with a no on that. Uh, Gaia. Well, again, the polarity. You have the representation of Gaia on Earth, but then you have Gaia that's in the heavens. That's the polarity. Faith in the James asks a complicated question. I have to look at that more closely. Uh-huh. Right, the feminine births, the masculine builds. Gilgamesh, you're correct. And that's true down here. The man goes to work and brings the money, the woman stays home and builds the home. It's the same paradigm. No, I don't. I don't believe in the Catholic idea of. I do believe that it's something similar, but not like the Catholic Church puts it. Even though the worlds within the dimensions that the Catholic Church talks about are real, only because the people were led to believe that it's real. So when you put something into an energy into something into a belief, it becomes real. So there is a hell that was created by an indoctrinated belief that there is a hell. That's why it exists because we were made to believe that it exists. So in that sense, it does. But in the altruistic sense of its origin, no. That's a mental fabrication that we were forced to believe. And because we have over thousands of years, now it's real. Yes, Chris, the universe is a very scary place. Yes, I have a yard in my chart. It's also called the finger of God. Is the Virgin Mary the mother of God or good ourselves for this? I would say she's the Gaia, representation of Gaia. And man has gave her other definitions. All right, let's go and talk a little bit about these archons. Well, first of all, let me give you an academic, comprehensive explanation of archons. And you're not going to get this anywhere else. No other astrologer, shaman talks about archons. You have some videos about archons, but they're like 7 minutes, 5 minutes. National Geographic might have wanted to. Ancient Aliens has makes reference to the archons. And he also makes reference to Jehovah being an imposter god, a demiurge god, the ruler of this system. What's the other one? Nat Geo. Um, There's another one. There's a few of them. And they're very good. They're very good. But they will never discuss in detail uh, what they are. They just mention something very generic about them that most people know by now. Still, though, the term archon is not a common name term in a household. I think my videos, uh, well, I don't want to say that it's me. I want to believe that there are other videos out there, but the reality is that there aren't any other videos out there. I'm the only one that putting this out there, and now it has spread like wildfire, and other people are doing videos on it and blah blah blah. And I think because I opened that door up, now other people feel more comfortable now talking about them, actually seeing them, actually experience them. I have in my school, I have three students who have been abducted by beings, and I believe them, and it's in their birth charts. And fascinating stuff. Um, I've always known of their existence since I was little. The reptilian has always been with me since I was little, 5, 6. But my ego wasn't awoken yet. The ego, like I mentioned, awakens at age 7, or reaches. It awakens at age 3 or 4, but it reaches adulteration at age 7, meaning that he's no longer shitting on his diapers, on his pants, or pissing on himself, or eating sloppy. Now he has motor function, and he can go to the bathroom and shit and piss. At age 7 is when the personality and the ego merge and take control of the vehicle, the physical body. And that's part of the childhood development and the gestational and prepubescent and postpubescent childhood development. And this is very scientific. So I had no idea who they were. And my ego wasn't yet mature to understand what they were. But I knew that I was the only one that could see them and hear them. And my family didn't. So I already knew that I was different from everybody else. And that's why I know of them. And I've also known that they come from other star systems. And I don't understand why that's so hard to believe with a lot of people. I want to show you something, and I want you to understand just how insignificant we are. I want to show you something. You see this here? This is our Milky Way galaxy. You see all those little blue, yellow dots? Those are suns. Do you know where we are? Do you know where we are? Look at all those little orange or yellow dots. Those are suns. And this is the spiral arm. The spiral arm. Right? As above, so below. You know where we're at? Let me show you where we're at. We are right here. We are right here. Right here. You see where I have the circle? You see that? That's us here. That's our solar system is right here. You mean to tell me that we're the only ones? And we're like out here. You mean to tell me that there's life forms in these places? There are billions and billions and trillions of stars. And we are right here. Right here, right at the bottom. We are 3 arms away from the central mass. And the earth is 3 rocks away from the sun. As above, so below. What do you think about that? Isn't that fierce? That's how insignificant we are. And that's one galaxy. And there are billions or trillions of galaxies with billions and trillions of stars. Let's chew on that for a minute. Chew on that for a minute. I'll be right back. So how insignificant we are. The small, the billions and billions of other suns right next door to us. You don't think we're gonna have visitations by somebody sooner or later? Come on, guys. Even you know better than that. All right, one second. Telling you. Tweaking. Okay? So, and in the book of Daniel, in the Bible, and in the book of Ezekiel, they talk about these beings coming in spaceships and motherships coming. It's spelled out. The ministers and pastors don't talk about these verses at all. They don't even want to look at it. They don't want to have to explain to you what they're saying, what they're reading. Any questions on that? Let's see any of your comments. Any of your comments? All right. I almost went off the air. You see? The devil. He tried it. He tried it. How about y'all have to say? Are the new ages that talk about star seeds and people are dealing with dangerous archons? Good luck on your surgery. Thank you, like the Anna Mishushi. Of course, we're going to survive. And there's no apocalypse happening. This is not an apocalypse. It's a visitation. It's an invasion. But it's not like apocalyptic. It's not an apocalyptic invasion. I believe you can't wait for my chat to be done. The mind of a Gemini. I love Gemini. You speaking some real stuff. Thank you, Moon Guide Frankie. I have seen an archon, right? It says, I've seen an archon exit my friend's body before. Frankie. Oh, yes. They're called walk-ins. You have walk-ins, too. Will they teach us, or can they procreate with humans? I don't know that. I believe they can because they have, in the mythology of the past, they have been able to procreate. But those were different types of beings. We don't know if these are the same or if they're different. But the original ones did. I removed the children from the chat. Okay. Gypsy Goddess. Unclear. Gypsy Goddess. Uncle, red blood attack more at times or single out? Thank you. No, nothing to do with that. No, this feels like night class. I love it. Go. I'm glad you're liking Cosmic Curiosity. Okay, are the archons? Okay, here you go. It was a small black creature with spikes on his back, and it crawled from the back of his neck under his skin, and he spit it out. I say, child of mature. Well, yeah, that was an archon, and they come in many forms, and that could have been a witchcraft. Witchcraft cannot work if the archons are not involved. Oops. So our baby is being born now, the Anunnaki? I don't know that at all. Where did you get that idea? What books in the Bible talk about these aliens, UFOs? The book of Ezekiel, the book of Daniel. You have the book of Job. In the book of Job, Jehovah mentions the planets and mentions the beings that influence those planets. First King, Second Kings, First and Second Judges. Yep, to mention just a few. Right, wheel within wheels. That's the mothership, and then outside within the wheels come out the smaller vessels. Like mother said, it unfolds, and oh yeah, the language is very clear, very clear. He said, did you see that? I said, yes, but I just turned away. He had just got out of prison on a 5-year bid. I was like, all right. Very good, very good. I'm glad. I'm glad. You got it's a stimulating conversation. Very good. So now let's go into the different archons. First of all, you have archons that are natural to the earth. These archons were here before we got here, or before we awoke into consciousness. Because we were here at the same time that the other kingdoms were here. And I'm talking going back hundreds of millions of years ago. Okay, they're telling us that we came into the scene 20, 30,000 years ago, or 4.5 million years ago when they find Lucy in Kenya. No, not true. Humanity is further older than that. I mean, really older than that. We all came here together at the same time, evolving from that germinal seed that began in the Big Bang. That included the archons too. Everything was in that seed. So when it blew up and it began to populate the cosmos, you had beings developing at different rates of vibration depending on the speed of their orbits of their planets and the magnitude of the burning suns in those systems. And they develop according to the laws of physics of those systems. Ours also developed according to the laws of physics of our system and the mathematics that defines our system is not the same in other systems with other stars that are burning far stronger and brighter than our own star. I mean, we have Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is 8 light years away, and it is one of the biggest burning stars in the known cosmos. So a planetary system developing around Betelgeuse is going to have a different morphology and a different level of life and rate of life and vibration than here because our sun is 25 times smaller than Betelgeuse. So can you imagine what kind of life force will be developing in a planet orbiting such a large star? So this gives you an idea of what type of archons exist. And also, I'll tell you something else too. We have beings that live in asteroids. I've actually spoke to one walk-in that told me some stories about beings that live in asteroids, inside and outside, and have mansions, but they live in a rate of vibration that our human eyes cannot see them. Just like we cannot see bacteria and viruses, their rate of vibration is so minuscule that we cannot see them. But then you have other rates of vibration that's so fast and strong that we can also not see them. But so it's for somewhere in between, you know. So and the same thing with vision. You have all kinds of vision. Infrared vision is not the only. There's about 800 types of different types of fields of vision, with different rates of vibration and different colors. So it's an infinitesimal array of different quantum mechanics that are so specific that even with that specificity, it can generate a whole different type of species or a whole different type of life way that with just one little speck this way can be a whole different new life way. Like we are sitting in the Goldilocks zone. If we move 1 inch towards the sun, well, not 1 inch, 1 degree. 1 degree is literally 4 minutes. 4 minutes equals 1 degree in the belt. So if we move 1 degree, which is 4 minutes, into the sun, we will have a polar freeze. If we move 1 degree, which is 4 minutes, away from the sun, we can go into an ice age. That's how delicate life is. That's what they call it the Goldilocks zone. It's just in the miniatures of a hair. And now we got all this life. But one small, tiny move, it can destroy all of this. Because it's an illusion that's being held temporarily by weak and strong forces giving it a balance. So to understand the magnitude of force that's holding the universe together, and on top of that, the different rates of vibration, because it is the rate of vibration that gives rise to different life waves and different life forms. Okay? So the archons have, we have archons in our planet that protect and guide and nurture the other kingdoms. For example, and I mentioned this in other videos, we have archons that oversee our plants, oversee our trees, make sure that the trees are alive in every season, and make sure that they produce their flowers or that they produce their fruits or vegetables. And these archons are called gnomes. 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 Yes, you've heard about them in The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, but it's real. We're being taught that it's fiction, but it's not. We're living in the Piscean age. They're giving us the opposite. That which is fiction is really truth. And that which they told us is true is really a lie. Reverse, the two fish in opposite direction. The entire Piscean age has been one of deception. What we were taught was real was not. And what we are taught, even in movies, of what's fiction is actually real. Pisces, opposite polarity, Piscean age. Think about that. Give that a good thought while I go to the little boy's room. Okay. Then you have um, archons that are called undines, and they are of the air. Undines. And they oversee insects and animals that live in tall trees. They also oversee insects that fly because they need the air to fly. So these archons oversee the flies, mosquitoes. They have other archons of the air that also oversee the birds. The birds can fly in the air because they have a group spirit of the air that makes sure that these birds are flying in the air. You also have demons that are high level that rule the air. Such a name is, and I'm going to mention it, but please do not mention it. Oh, you know what? No, can't do it. I can't mention the name. But it's a horrible, one of the main ones, and he rules the air. And he allows evil thoughts to hit mankind. So if I have an evil eye and I'm throwing evil eye on that person, the evil eye, it travels through the air. And it is that demon or archon that makes sure that that energy goes to that person. So you have demons of the air, demons of earth, demons of water, and demons of fire. These are archons. The church calls them demons, but they're archons. They're rulers, and they rule over our kingdoms and protect and oversee our kingdoms. They are very hostile to humans. They don't like us, and they could care less about us. Um, you have the Sufils, and they can also be air and fire, and the salamanders are the fire, and then you have the nymphs or the sea nymphs, which are the archons of the water, oversee the flowers that grow underneath the ocean and the vegetations of the sea, the fishes, the plantains, that is the natural staple for the entire ocean of our planet, is overseen by these archons. And they are like again, going back to the beehive, these archons are, they don't like to be disturbed, and they care less about humans. Sometimes they don't even see us. The only way you can call attention to these archons is if you are a witch. Only witches, sorcerers, shamans, like myself, can command them and influence them and control them. Like Solomon, who controlled the demons and built the temple of Jerusalem in 585 BC. He used the demons to build the temple. It is written in the Bible. It tells you. And what I'm telling, and it was these entities that were involved. No different today than back in the days of Jerusalem, 585 BC. Nothing is new under the sun. It's all here and it's the same thing. So those are archons. These are archons. But these are different classifications of archons. The archons I've described to you are nature spirits. Well, they don't like to be called spirits. And they tell me all the time, we don't like to be called spirits. We are not spirits. And we are not souls. They get angry, upset. Because they are inorganic beings. We are hybrids. But they are inorganic beings, meaning that they don't have a soul and they don't have a spirit. And they're like parasitic. We have to put lights and candles and foods and honor, like in the Yoruba tradition, in the Santeria, where you have coffee and food. You have to feed them, because if you don't do that, they feed from you. And that's when it becomes bad. And people are born with these beings depending on the bloodlines. Okay, but we'll talk about that classification down the road. But this is an introduction that I'm giving you, and I'm telling you that these are archons, and they are very, we leave them alone. We leave them alone. When I go into the woods, the birds stop singing. The squirrels, you could hear a pin drop in the forest when I will go in the forest, because they know that I have that pentacle and have the ability to command them, all of nature, and that's what witches are. So that's one classification of archons, and they are endogenous to our planet, and they are a part of our life wave. And we're going to continue tomorrow morning with the other segment. Please donate, please give. If you want a birth chart or a reading, call me, Fernando Prudhomme, 347-485-6258. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and my own site, The People's Astrologer. Guys, thank you. I'll talk to you soon.